That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode 183 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where some friends get together, sometimes a week late, to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. My name is Adam and I'm joined by the two most dedicated wrestling podcasters that aren't me on the pod. That's not even accurate, is it? You're more dedicated than me these days. It's Sam and John. Hello, Sam and John.
Hello. Are we a tag team now?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
You're like Dick and Dom.
Oh.
Were they in the 80s? Did they wrestle in the NWA? Is that what they...
Probably.
Would you rather be Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso, John, in this relationship?
I'm going to go with Jay.
Who's the one who gets done for the drink driving? Because that's the one I don't want to be.
I think they've both been done.
Oh. I'd like to be a mugger.
Maybe it's, when I felt like in the late 90s there were a lot of these like kids programs with twins where they used to do swap outs.
Yeah.
Maybe they used to do that with policemen and drink driving charges.
Okay.
Quite often they wouldn't actually get twins either. They just have one actor, wouldn't they, who'd have to play two roles. Just get changed. Lots of different cuts.
Really?
I wonder if it's double the money.
Was that true of like the Funhouse twins? No, they were real twins,
No,
right?
they were real. They were real.
And the twins in Full House were real twins as well, weren't they?
Yes.
Are we just going to discuss the rest of the podcast who is and isn't real twins?
I've seen the Funhouse twins in the flesh. That does not as dirty as that.
How much flesh?
I believe they performed at my university.
What did they
Pat
perform?
Sharp there?
Was it
ping
oral
pong
sex?
show.
Oh dear.
And a donkey was involved.
Okay.
Consensual though. That donkey was having a great time.
We're here to discuss SummerSlam 2022. Sorry that we're a week late. We had various different things going on. And this is probably the kind of thing you can look forward to experiencing from Hardest Part of the Ring moving forward. We're not going to be burning the midnight oil to watch the pay-per-view straight after they finished and then getting on the pod and editing late into the night. We're going to be a little bit more relaxed, looking after our own mental health. I feel like if we say that, then people will just relax and can never give us any grief. And making sure that, we've got time for all the other things that we've got going on in our exceptionally successful adult lives. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I bought a Steam Deck, so I don't know if I'm an adult yet.
Yes.
I'm still a child.
I don't know. I think that's the most adult thing you've ever done, Sam.
Maybe.
The great thing is I've just bought a Stream Deck.
I thought you already had one for your Twitch stream, which is ad on Twitch.
Oh, thank you. Look at this. I'm showing it on camera, but here's part of my Stream Deck. And people keep talking about Steam Decks, and I think they're talking about Stream Decks.
Play one of the Hardest Part of the Ring sounds you've got lined up on there for us?
It's actually not connected to the Mac at the minute. It's connected to my PC. I've had to buy a PC because my Mac can't stream, because Macs apparently have lots of issues with streaming, which I found out after I started. Anyway, one thing we wanted to do was make these episodes a bit quicker.
Snap it, get straight into it.
So gone are the days where we're going to do hour-long or over an hour, like full reviews, where we're discussing every single match in detail. We are going to talk about SummerSlam, of course, but we're going to talk about some key matches and then touch upon a few of the other things. This SummerSlam was the first ever pay-per-view we reviewed, wasn't it, on Hardest Part of the Ring?
Yeah,
so
it's kind of like...
sixth
that's
one?
our... Maybe? I don't know. That maths is a bit beyond me. For me, like, it's kind of... SummerSlam is like our go on the Monopoly board, like, except we don't get £200 every time we do it.
No. Yeah, no, you're right. It means we've come full circle once again. I think Hardest Part of the Ring, SummerSlam 2017. There you go. Episode 2 was our SummerSlam 2017 review. So this is our 6th SummerSlam.
What was the main event of 2017?
Ooh, can I remember?
I'm opening it up now. Right? I'm opening it up now. Looks like Brock and Roman are on the poster. And the main event was Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. Fatal 4-way.
Samoa Joe?
Had Lesnar...
What's he doing in there?
Brock Lesnar won, but had Lesnar lost, he and Heyman would have left the WWE. 20-minute match.
Cool. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. God, we're going to have to go back and listen to that. Sam's actually dug out our episodes that we recorded, like our test episodes. So maybe when we're really struggling, if we really have no motivation to record an episode, we'll put one of those out.
I
don't know,
think we
man.
all have to agree to that before they go out.
There's a little bit of there's a point in there where we wax lyrical about Velveteen Dream. So
Okay. Maybe not then. We'll see. Anyway, the last
Goddamn
podcast
wrestlers.
that we did was a special on Vince retiring. And we also had a little bit of a chat about future plans for the pod. This podcast will be SummerSlam, and we'll come back and talk all about it after this.
The apron as a weapon. Balor chin first into the hardest part of the ring. Uh-oh.
Before we go on, I should acknowledge that Brett's not here. Did I? I feel like we don't even mention it anymore.
we want Brett.
Yeah, we miss
We
him.
want Brett.
We do.
We want Brett. You guys aren't chanting with me. You don't want Brett.
I don't. I just want... Yeah, I do want Brett, actually, because we need somebody to do the artwork. I did want Brett to watch this and come back, but he's so busy. He's got lots going on. Was he building furniture, did he say?
I don't know.
Something,
He's-
building a wardrobe.
Brett has got a lot of stuff on at the moment. A
Yes.
heck of a lot.
He's a busy
Like,
man.
more so than normal.
Yeah. So he made the artwork for this pod, but he hasn't watched the pay-per-view. So as you will see from the art, he's just had the biggest spoiler ever, and now it won't be the same if he watches that main event.
Just before we move on to SummerSlam, I do need to check. John, is that a blunderbuss on your wall behind you? Like a
Yeah, weird story. So my dad made that in like wood workshop when he was at school. Now I've got it for some reason.
Okay.
cool.
It's just like a bit of carved wood.
Great.
It's like your dad invented the vuvuzela before.
Yeah, but it's,
Vuvuzela.
you can't blow on it. Blow on it, blow through it, blow it.
Yeah. Play through
Okay.
it.
Back to SummerSlam.
The venue for SummerSlam was the Nissan Stadium. That's the only information that Sam's written in. Where in America was it?
Nissan Stadium in Music City, Nashville.
Nashville.
There you go.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Thank you. The attendance, 48,449. John, you thought it looked like a lot more?
I just think when you look at on the TV, it looked way bigger than Wembley and Twickenham, and they're both 80,000. It just looked huge. Like it looked like the tiers went up forever and ever.
Are WWE one to reduce the audience that they're saying are in the arena? Is this the new WWE under Triple H?
Maybe.
They sneak in 120,000, but they actually say it's 40,000.
Yeah,
That'd be
maybe.
an interesting move. There's always a lot of space around the ground, like the floor area, isn't there? But it did look packed. And I did get a buzz when it started, and it was
It
a big
looked amazing.
outdoor pay-per-view again in the summer. You know, everybody's got lovely memories of SummerSlam's past, except SummerSlam's 2017, which we've totally forgotten. The comms team, again, thanks to Sam for doing the running order. WWE Wankers is what it says.
There was Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
He's all right. There was Michael Cole.
yeah,
There was Corey Graves. There was Jimmy Smith.
yeah. No Byron Saxton, what's happened to him?
I don't know.
Also, I don't think Pat was on the comms team for this.
Well, no.
that's true,
He might
actually.
have done he might have done a match here and there. I don't know.
He
Yeah,
did.
because I was just thinking, I don't remember Pat. He must have been great on this because I don't remember him at all.
Do you know what? Don't blame me. Blame the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Actually, don't, because they're right there.
Yeah.
Byron Saxton was on there.
Okay. And Sam, you're about to read from that Wikipedia page as you tell us the card.
You are indeed correct. No pre-show.
Wow.
Done. That's why we got rid of Brett.
Yeah.
No pre-show. No pre-show Jones. We had Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. We had The Miz, accompanied by Maurice and Ciampa, taking on Logan Paul. Oh man, I just misread that. I thought it said Bobby Lashley versus Thor. Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the
Theory.
US Championship.
I missed that. I missed the loss of Austin.
Mr. Money in the Bank, Austin Theory. Oh, not Austin Theory. We had a tag team match, no disqualification match. The Mysterios versus the Judgment Day. This is Finn Balor's stable that he has usurped from Edge. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, accompanied by Rhea Ripley.
Nice.
We had Pat Mack versus Hap Corpse.
Right.
Decent. We had the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso versus the Street Profits. That's Montez Ford and Marty Jannetty. We then had the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. That was Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. And then the main event, last man standing match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship.
As far as we're concerned, the key matches that we're going to talk about are basically the bookends of the pay-per-view. So we're going to do the Raw Women's Championship, and then we're going to do the last man standing match. And then, we'll chat about stuff in the middle. But let's start off with that Raw Women's Championship match. Bianca Belair, the champ, trying to get some payback for what happened last year at Summerslam 2022 versus Becky Lynch. John, you said that you rewatched this, so it's nice and fresh in your memory, so you get to start.
Straight before the pod. Yeah, this match was a bit of a banger, like a solid match. And you kind of have to say, considering how this feud started last year with a moment where we all absolutely hated it, the way they've continued it and the matches they've had throughout and ending it on this match, it's good long-term storytelling, right? And we very rarely say that about WWE.
Yeah.
Again, it feels like they may have, I don't want to say stumbled into it, but I don't think they planned for the reaction at SummerSlam 2021 to be quite as bad as it was. Maybe they did, but
True.
I think WWE thought that the crowd at 21 would basically be like, oh my god, it's Becky Lynch, can't believe it, come back to win the title, huge. And the crowd just were not into it. And this is where WWE are at their best, when they're able to take an adverse moment and just roll with it and make it work. And Becky Lynch, as big time Bex, has been phenomenal.
And it's really, I think Bianca was a star before last year's SummerSlam, but this feud has really cemented her place as probably the top 3 or 4. Like, she's been amazing and so over. The crowd absolutely love her.
I think there's probably an argument to say Bianca Belair, best women's wrestler in the world.
Oh, that's normally the sort of shout I'd normally say.
I think there's an argument for it. I think she is top notch. Every single match she is in, she is athletic, she is powerful, she is entertaining, she is charisma. She is charismatic.
She is charisma.
She is charisma. I mean, the KOD, that's such a cool finisher in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
What was particularly impressive with this match, well, what I thought was, normally we know Bianca Belair for these big power moves, but she didn't really have a lot of those in this match. It was just like good old-fashioned straight-up wrestling.
That is good, isn't it? To not always rely on doing those big power moves or showing her strength. I think that there was just some nice slick moves, I thought. The KOD outside, but then the end with the Spanish fly into that.
That Spanish fly.
So good.
Lovely.
I love it as well, the fact that kind of, in another world, like, if you were to give me a million guesses, I would say WWE would basically base entire feuds on her using her hair. And it's just been like, we don't even see it every single match. It's what makes it such a cool move when she does do it.
There's always a bit of yanking of the hair. A bit of it, Bianca
but
into the ring post or vice versa, whatever it was. But we see a lot of that. But then that kind of makes sense. If you're going to be silly enough to leave all your hair out like that, then people are going to use it.
But that's the thing. It's like kind of, they go to the whip spot, don't they? And it's kind of a big thing. And the fact that they're not using it as much, I don't know if it's just like a kind of, maybe it's not good for your hair to do that or something.
It feels like very rarely use the whip spot.
I think very rarely.
Yeah.
But
mainly
because
that's
what makes it so good. I love it.
That's probably true. All the other wrestlers have probably refused to take it.
I would also say, like, Becky was great in this match. So I know we talk a lot about Bianca, but I thought her wrestling in this match was brilliant, especially considering I think she injured her shoulder in it. She's going to be out for a bit.
Yeah, do you think, because we've had a bit of a narrative with her, that it was like, when she was the man, it was just like, wow, such a great gimmick, and she got over amazingly, but she's not actually that great wrestler, and that she's actually quietly become a much better wrestler. Like, she is actually pretty decent. She's not the best, but she's pretty good. Her
and Seth Rollins have been pushing each other along to kind of just really explore their characters and the way they kind of approach the ring work and stuff. Like, they've both always been solid wrestlers, but the last year or so, both of their characters have become super outlandish in really entertaining ways, as if they're just having fun with it. And I think under new WWE kind of direction, Becky's going to thrive with this because she's just got this amazing gimmick.
Has she just turned face again?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
ask, what do you
Oh,
guys
definitely.
what do you guys think about the face turn? Good, bad, indifferent?
I love it because of the heel reveal at the end.
Yes, that was fucking great. So the return of Bailey, who looked fantastic, and it's just so great that we got three
Yeah.
lots of ring music, entrance
And
music.
big stars as well, not like...
Well, when Dakota
Nice.
Kai came out, I was like, who the fuck is that? I didn't recognise her at all.
She does look super, super different, but still very, very good wrestler, Dakota.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
And then bringing in Io Shirai as well. What I love about this is the kind of... When Sasha Banks came to the main roster and when Charlotte came to the main roster, they were all... And Becky, they were all brought in as like kind of these weird little 3-person teams.
Yeah,
And it was kind of like a weird way of almost bringing up NXT whilst at the same time not... kind of like just throwing them straight into the limelight as like the main event. And Bailey came up a little bit later, but now kind of it's Bailey's had that time and that experience, and now she's the one bringing up wrestlers to the main roster as well, and it's just cool. Like, you know, Io Shirai is a world megastar in and of itself.
Io
in and
Sky,
of herself.
she is now. Do you see that?
Is she Io Sky
Io
now? I did
Sky,
not catch
which is
that.
a bit of a shame.
That is a shame.
I mean, we should probably reference that. Obviously, this is the first pay-per-view that's occurred since Vince left, and I mean, maybe that's something we touch upon at the end of it, so we can sort of evaluate the whole thing. But you can't help but think, oh, I wonder how much of this was planned. Now, I imagine this was planned, but it's just the fact that there's 2 NXT call-ups here, and people
Are they call-ups, or I thought they were actually let go, both of them. I thought they were returning.
I thought Dakota was let go. I thought Io was still in NXT.
To be honest with you, I couldn't confirm. I
Yeah.
think you're right on Dakota, but you know they were NXT stars because I mean, in a way,
Yeah.
a lot of people won't even know who they are, and it's just like, well, this feels very Triple H. Is this? Oh my God, has he immediately gone in there and switched things up and suggested this? Or are we just thinking that because it's happened days after the Vince thing, you know, maybe this was planned? But it just felt kind of fresh, didn't it? To be excited to, one, get Bailey back, because everybody loves Bailey, and we definitely do on the pod, and she's been a great heel. And then to get 2 of our favourites. I mean, Io Shirai's put on some of our favourite matches. Dakota Kai's always been brilliant, and I think can be excellent. It's
Really looking
exciting.
forward to this a lot, because Bailey, for me, was my wrestler of the pandemic era.
Yes.
And
She's
I
been
can't wait
out
to
for
see what she does.
Ages as
She
well.
obviously had some very severe injury that I've not followed, but like, I'm glad she's back.
Pre-WrestleMania, because I was hoping to get... There was talk about her being back for WrestleMania, obviously way after that.
I do wonder what happens with Becky now, though. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't even know who's on what roster, so I couldn't even say what her next feud might be if she has turned. But are we going to end up with loads of Becky versus Charlotte again now, something like that? Who knows? Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. Saying that, I haven't seen what happened on Raw or SmackDown or read the results, so I can't be that interested. But maybe we'll see at Clash at the Castle, which we're definitely planning on watching. Are we good to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's skip everything else. We'll come back and touch on some of it in a bit. But let's go straight to the main event, which I only watched last night. When we decided that we were going to move the pod to this week, I thought, okay, I'm just going to wait and watch it the night before so it can be fresh. Fucking hell. I loved watching this. It was... who would have thought I'd be saying that about a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match, considering all the ones we've watched early on in the pod, in the pod history. It's the undisputed WWE last man standing match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I don't know about you, but I really want to know what agriculture thought of this match. Not what culture, what agriculture, because there was a tractor.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, very funny.
Nice. I mean, nice. It's okay.
Thanks, Adam.
I wrote that down, and I was like, I'll save that for at some point in the middle, and I brought it out early doors and had to explain it. Fuck. Anyway.
And it's not even in the part of the pod that you get to edit. It's rough.
Oh, man, that's true, actually. Usually I can sort of like add some laughter in the background. What do we reckon? Did we love this?
I wanted to hate this match because I was so annoyed that it was Brock versus Roman again. I wanted to go in, guns blazing, say, fuck's sake, WWE, you're so lazy, another rubbish SummerSlam you don't care about. And I am so wrong on this because I love this match to bits. It's just stupid fun.
It's wild.
It was so unique. There was so much of it that was unique. I even made a note about how there were quite a few suplexes, but they were interesting suplexes. There were suplexes happening on different barricades or happening onto the stairs, or where he was getting tossed in different directions. It wasn't just get in the ring, do 5 suplexes, do 5 Superman punches. There were still 7 suplexes, but I just thought that there was so much in this match that was unique. Obviously, the big spots that we'll get to in a bit. But how did you feel, John, beforehand? I bet you were still excited for it.
I was like Sam, actually. I was really annoyed that we're going to get to see this again. I honestly didn't think would get this sort of match out of it. And even just from the start, with Brock turning up with a tractor and just standing on it to announce himself as
Looked
well.
great.
Was really cool.
Yeah.
Set the tone, didn't it, for the rest of the match?
Has he worked on his voice? Because it really sounds better. Like, it doesn't sound as like high-pitched and whiny and sort of not matching the man, the physique. I think
he was trying to do a little bit of a Paul Heyman-esque
a little
kind
bit
of voice.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing is, it's just like when I saw that the ring didn't have like the LED panels, I was convinced that we were going to end up with, like, you know, the Big Show spot where he suplexes him and the ring falls apart.
I can't believe you even noticed
Yeah,
that.
nor
That
can I.
is crazy.
I didn't notice that at all.
Every time the ring doesn't have the LED panels now, I'm always like expecting the ring to get destroyed in some capacity. You could have given me a million guesses. Tractor lifting up the ring was never going to be one of them. And now I'm like, why don't they do this more often? How did WCW go wrong when this kind of idea exists?
Yeah,
How are they allowed to do this? Like, it's
What a
crazy.
spot.
So the bit where he comes in and then he pushes the ring a bit, you're like, what the fuck? That seems dangerous. And I bet the announce team were like, holy shit. But I thought, oh, he's going to get back. I thought maybe he was going to push down the ropes or something, or break the ropes. I didn't see what came happening. It was incredible.
Thought he was going to use the tractor bucket to maybe pin down Roman on the floor.
Oh, that would be very dangerous. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that would be. I thought maybe he was going to try and scoop up Roman from the floor, but then even that's dangerous because if you pinch a bit of skin,
Yeah,
that's
taking his
terrible.
arm.
And then I thought, well, surely he's going to do the side of the ring, but the fact that he went for the corner, it just looked amazing. And Roman was holding onto the corner, and he falls backwards and rolls out. I watched it loads.
Such an iconic WWE moment. This is one of those ones where when you're going to look back at SummerSlam,
We'll never forget this one.
in years gone by.
No.
For me, this is up there with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns crashing an ambulance into a wall. Just
This is bigger than that for me.
But you
Way
remember those
bigger.
stupid things, yeah.
This is the thing, is that I love a stupid spot. Like, it kind of, for me, there's like this weird bathtub effect where it's like I like small spots which are quite kind of like personal, and then it gets a little bit silly when you kind of go into the realm of like chairs matches or stairs matches and all of that, where it's like, all right, you guys have gone too far now, this is stupid. And then it hits a point where it starts to get good again because it's so stupid. And Brock Lesnar is a king of this. It's ripping the door off the Hell in a Cell and using it as a ramp to go up to the ring again. It's just wonderful stuff. Big fan.
Even without that spot, though, this match was great. Like, it just
Heyman
felt a lot
getting
faster.
F5'd.
Yeah, and F5 through the announce table.
The announce table.
My one criticism would be, I think the actual end took too long.
Oh, I liked it, actually.
I don't know.
With all the
don't know.
spears, it just took so long.
I think it did the right job with bringing Theory in because the crowd pops hard for that potential cash-in, and it kind of gives an out to the end of the match where you've then all of a sudden got this third party with a briefcase swinging it around and like...
Well, he hit Roman with that, and then Roman hit the back of his head on the thing, didn't he? That looked nasty. There were a couple of moves in this. In fact, was it just before or just after when the Usos did the super kicks to Brock and they seemed to really connect with his face? There were a few moments where like, fuck, that looked stiff and that looked painful, or that looked like it didn't quite go to plan and it would hurt. There were shocking moments where it was like shocking and they wanted you to be shocked, and there were shocking moments where I was like, oh shit, they're going to be in a lot of pain.
I just really like this a lot. I love the final burying of Brock, the literal
Yeah, that's cool.
bury him under everything. Roman standing successful at the top
really
in
cool.
like just a really strong imagery and a good ending to a story. And if this is the last Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, which maybe it probably isn't, but let's hope it is, then this is a good way to finish that feud, because like this has been the legitimate challenger to Roman, and it's made it really, definitely legitimized Roman. So yeah, good.
I'd be interested to see what happens with Brock after this, with Vince gone.
Yeah,
he's lost all of these Roman matches, right? Like,
I mean,
he's lost them all.
Brock's got to be kind of maybe on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is, but you can't imagine he'll be desperate to sign up again if he hasn't got Vince there. But
no,
and you'd imagine Triple H, one of his main things is going to be, right, we need to build up some more credible wrestlers who can take on.
They
Roman.
absolutely do, because it's like, this is a great event and it was a really cool match. All of the cracks are still there and they still need to sort them out. They do not have a credible top card.
No. So Theory didn't actually cash in. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That's still going on. Although, I mean, I haven't been watching any of the weekly TV, so to me, he doesn't seem like a credible contender whatsoever, but maybe he's actually been good.
No, I mean, I haven't been watching much of it except for a few clips here and there. But, I mean, he hasn't won. He loses every match he's in.
Right.
It's Theory holding that Money in the Bank. I think that's going to be maybe a nearly whole year-long thing for him, because it gives him a little bit of microphone time. It gives him, like, a looming presence. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a very good
Vince's
wrestler.
protege, though.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what also happens to Theory with Vince gone, because, yeah, I mean, that was all the big talk and the storyline openly on TV, that he was the chosen one.
Yeah.
But you say that, but, like, he was also part of Johnny Gargano's stable in NXT under Triple H's stewardship, so
He is good.
I would be interested to see where Theory goes. I don't think he is anywhere close to that title at the moment, and even if he was to win it through hook or crook, it would basically be
Hook's going to make a debut.
It would basically be used as a transitional champion to get the belt off Roman.
Did you say
to
crook?
Someone else.
Is Repo Man coming back? When you edit that, could you bring that in a bit sooner so it sounds like over?
Yeah, sure. I'll retime the laughing
Yeah,
to be with the agriculture joke.
Thank you.
Yeah, they'll probably end up using Theory as some way of getting the belt off Roman without Roman losing credibility. Similar to how they use it with The Miz.
With Brock not winning any of these Roman matches, have they made a bit of a rod for themselves in that, if not Brock, then who the fuck is going to beat Roman?
Exactly.
Roddy Piper's coming back. You said Rod.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck, just listen to what you're saying, and then you can be ready for the great gags.
Sorry, Adam. Okay.
Yeah, the
I'll
great
do better
gags.
next time.
Because they have no credible challenges. Like Seth Rollins maybe is the most credible, and even then it's not really close. They're obviously going to build Drew for a bit. I don't imagine Drew is going to have much success. Even if he is, he's still
there's
not
a lot
really
of
at that
lot
level.
of talk that he's going to win it at the Clash at the Castle. I find that so hard to believe, though.
He's kind of got to. I don't know. I think
Has
you know
he?
they'll have that moment. It'll be like when Moustache Mountain won at the Royal Albert Hall and then lose it the week after.
I just think it's too big a moment for that.
Maybe.
Right, Roman has been unbeaten for God knows how long.
Well, let's not forget, Cody Rhodes was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, he was, and Cody will come back and he will kind of occupy one of those top spots.
Yeah,
Will he, though?
Possibly.
Because him and Triple H...
that's a good point. Don't forget what he did with that.
Yeah, right?
When he smashed up that throne.
Oh, my God. He must be phoning up the Jackson brothers right this second.
I think Triple H respects Cody. I think Triple H actually has a lot of respect for a lot of people and kind of has time for people taking the piss and kind of going for him, because that's how Triple H got big.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think Triple H would be bothered by that at all. He just wants whatever's best for business, I would say. And Cody probably, yeah. I mean, certainly before he got injured, was probably the only contender to beat Roman.
It's Adam. I thought Adam was about to leave the podcast.
It would be great if we just saw him jump out that window.
It's really hot.
Whilst
in
John
here.
was talking, Adam was very slowly opening a window, and it just looked like he was about to bail.
This building just like soaks up the heat all day and then just remains warm all night. It's really weird. So I just had to. I was just thinking I am really hot and I don't want to turn on the aircon or the fan because I'm a pro. So I've opened up the window. So there you go.
I might call you out on it anyway. Yeah, they need to build up more stars. They need to build up way, way, way more stars. And I think they can do it.
Rey Mysterio tilt. One more shot at the title.
The only other thing is that, like, whilst I would have never believed Drew to be a credible challenger to Roman, now that Brock Lesnar is out of the way and we've got Vince gone, and it's kind of Roman's got literally nothing left to prove.
Yeah.
Now is the time where I think kind of they could have a shock loss and it wouldn't hurt any credibility.
I think Drew's super over and potentially could. I just don't think he's at that level yet. You know,
he's getting there though. Did you hear about what he called Roman on Raw?
No.
Came out, called him his tribal queef. Pretty good.
That is good, actually. That is good. I quite liked what Drew did on this SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That felt very off the cuff, actually.
Yeah,
it
with the
felt
fan.
quite natural.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm a little bit sick of Drew's sword.
Oh my god, yeah, me too.
Well,
Fucking get rid of the sword.
No,
but
get used
like
to that.
other than that, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It feels like WWE going in a decent direction.
I mean, if he did win at Clash, it would be a huge moment and a huge pop.
It would. I mean, if it was in Scotland, then we'd know what was happening. But it's in Wales, so who knows? Maybe Mark Andrews will run in and...
But, like, let's be honest, like, WWE, Wales, Scotland, Ireland,
That's true.
UK, it's all
They
just
think it's
basically,
England.
oh my God, yeah.
They do. They definitely think they're in England. Cool. So, yeah, I think we were all pretty delighted with that match. As you say, it's just one that will live long in the memory. And, you know, we've forgotten quite a few of their matches in the past. I mean, when I think back to just the dull ones when the crowd is booing and they're just doing F5s and spears and Superman punches. And
I mean, that one at WrestleMania was absolute garbage.
I didn't mind
It
it,
was-
but I know, yeah.
It's hard to say
Objectively.
because it ended with an injury, but it definitely wasn't as good as this. This
No.
was probably the best match between the two of them I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at some of the other stuff. So I don't think... Did any of us watch this properly in real time? Yes, Sam. As in, like, watched every match in order without
Yeah.
skipping.
I skipped the
Oh,
Pat McAfee
I watched.
match.
Right.
I skipped the Logan Paul match.
Okay,
Oh,
well, I
really?
actually watched both of those, so that's good. Just very quickly, the Pat McAfee match, he looked a lot more rusty than he has. His debuts and his other matches look really good, and this, he looked a bit shaky at times, and he was missing bits and bobs. But I think we all like him a lot more than we used to. And as a Logan Paul match, quite the opposite. Logan Paul is going to be an absolute superstar if he wants to be.
He looks amazing in the ring. I fucking hate him so much. I don't know why he's not a heel, but in the ring, outrageous.
He clearly wants to... He's taken this seriously. He's putting the work in. He looks cut, and he can do it. I reckon if he wanted to be, he could be... Well, he's massive. He's already got the social media following. He's got loads of heat.
I think he's going away for a bit now, because he's got a boxing match coming up.
Probably. He's probably got all sorts of stuff going on.
Sam, you're in the boxing now. Does he have a boxing match coming up?
I think he does. I'm not entirely sure. I know Jake Paul had one booked but has fallen apart. But I think people like Logan Paul and kind of influencers and celebrities generally in wrestling, like WWE are doing a really good job giving them freedom and allowing them to be a lot better than they ever have been previously. That said, I just have no interest in watching
No, I
Logan
agree.
Paul.
No, I mean,
it's just not going to do it for me in any capacity.
The quality is so much better. If you get Logan Paul and Bad Bunny in a tag team match against Mr. T and Shaquille O'Neal,
the celebrity element is, like they've really stepped up their training, and you can tell how good and how much work WWE are putting into that now, which is obviously a lot of their focus. It's just kind of Bad Bunny, like it's hard to not like Bad Bunny, because it's like you've got this kind of just cool Spanish speaking rapper who clearly loves WWE, and that's great.
top of John's
Logan
Bangers
Paul-
playlist.
2 tracks.
Logan Paul is a much
Wow.
more divisive character who, quite frankly, and I think a lot of people would probably feel the same of, I don't want to watch this person. And a lot of people would think, oh my God, it's Logan Paul. It's Logan Paul, I want to watch this person. That's annoying.
That's your little Logan Paul alert.
Yep.
Too much Logan
it's
Paul
Logan
chat.
Paul, I want to watch this person. And if that's going to kind of appeal to that audience, and you're going to get them in, and it's like, oh my God, my favourite streamer or influencer can jump off the top rope, do a frog splash.
Fucking
through
hell.
announcers
That was an
table.
amazing splash.
I mean, I don't like the guy. I don't want to watch the guy, but like that's entertainment, isn't it? So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other matches? I mean, do you want to do a quick like favourite other match, best of the rest? Have you got one, John?
So this is a weird one because I think most people say this is probably the worst match on the card, and certainly the shortest. But I think the Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey, there was like a really good storyline in this match, and Liv was playing a really great sort of babyface in peril. It's just it didn't have the time for it to really play out.
did they write themselves into a corner with this because Liv Morgan is going in as the champion and they want her to leave as the champion, but they also can't have her really like convincingly beat someone like Ronda?
But why not though? She's the champion, right? She's the champ.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like WWE wanting to have their cake and eat it too. They've built up this badass in Ronda Rousey. They've put Liv as the champion, which I think is a great decision.
Yeah.
A bit different.
But they've made Liv look really, really fucking weak.
Yeah, I think they have to. Oh, that I don't think it makes it look great.
If you were to say like put these wrestlers in order of like strength, credibility wise, and kayfabe, like Becky, Bayley, Ronda, Liv is the bottom of that list, surely.
Yeah, easy.
And she's the champ.
But is it a bit like Gianfranco Solo, you know? Like in that 90s football, like everyone's really big and muscular, but little Gianfranco, he's like, what's this dude? He's not, there's nothing
No,
much about
because
him, but
Liv
he's
Morgan-
fucking amazing.
No, he started a revolution.
Liv Morgan isn't...
That's not
No,
happening
Liv
here.
Morgan is Gianfranco Zola of WWE.
No, Liv Morgan
no,
isn't
no.
playing up top with Gianluigi Vialli. I can just about say his name. Liv Morgan isn't going to put away 30 goals in a season.
Liv Morgan
She's got 30 goals written all over her.
Liv Morgan is Torre Andre Flo, if we're looking at
Oh,
foreign
yes,
Chelsea strikers.
there we go.
Like, not that memorable, thin and blonde. Good. Okay, well, that's that then. That's that match analysed. We've now got a heel Ronda, which makes sense. Yeah.
Because everyone hates her and Ronda
Yeah,
hates being here.
Exactly. So now she can get booed and she'll think it's just because she's a character. Sam, have you got any other highlights?
Do you know what? I actually didn't mind the Street Profits versus the Usos. I thought it was a decent match.
Yeah.
I quite like seeing Jeff Jarrett there, even though I hate Jeff Jarrett.
Why was he there? What purpose did he serve being in this match?
Because he's like from Nashville. He's like the guy who... I'm annoyed that no one got hit with a guitar
yeah, it just
in Nashville Music City with Jeff Jarrett refereeing. But
I get that he's there because of Nashville, but it just didn't matter. Like it had nothing.
oh
That's
no,
true.
he was because he did such a straight down the middle, boring job as referee. For someone who is famous for hitting women and guitars,
Yeah.
could have had a very
They
Could have had
they
a
kept on
crazy,
praising him, didn't they? Saying,
Oh my god, the comms on this were awful. That's all they kept talking about was
Yeah.
how great a job Jeff Jarrett was doing. It was it's fucking sickening. I hated it.
very strange.
Two great tag teams though.
Yeah,
Oh.
did you watch their Money in the Bank match?
No, but I heard it was good.
Way better than this one.
Really,
Yeah, like way better.
So obviously the camera was absolutely locked on Montez's Ford's face at the end of this, and it is a matter of when he turns on Angelo Dawkins. Has he done that yet?
No, I don't
I
think
was-
so.
I did find it interesting
that's-
that comms referenced the fact that they said Angelo Dawkins has said that he needs to get up to Montez's level.
The commentary for this was very telling, in my opinion, and I think it is a matter of time before we see a singles run from Montez Ford, and I think he could be an absolutely top star.
Superstar for sure.
But surely it's got to be Dawkins that turns on Montez, right? Do you want to heel Montez?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I would watch a heel Montez or a face Montez because the man reminds me of The Rock. He's got so much charisma.
Interesting.
But like, I would be worried if I was Angelo Dawkins because Angelo Dawkins is I know I take the piss and call him the Marty Jannetty and everything, but the reality is he is in that Tucker Knight, Marty Jannetty, Big Cass kind of like, he is the less interesting of the two tag team partners, and he's not going to be, he's just not got enough on his own, in my opinion.
I remember
in
it,
comparison to Montez Ford.
I think in the very first draft we did, it might have been pre-pod, I put Dawkins in there just because I needed to have someone from NXT. I had no idea who he was. He'd never been on TV at that point.
I picked the Street Profits pretty early as my NXT tag team. I was chuffed with that. It's always going to be a good match between those two teams, and not surprising that the Usos retained both sets of belts. I don't know. I mean, my third favourite match, apart from the two bookends, was the Logan Paul versus The Miz match. That's basically, I started watching SummerSlam. I watched those two matches. I was like, this is fucking great. I'm having a great time. And I felt excited about WWE, even though I'm watching The Miz with Ciampa, which makes no sense whatsoever.
That is a bit random, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, like, legitimately, like, regardless of what you think about Logan Paul, it's entertainment, and that's the thing. Like, whether you like him, hate him, you're basically paying money to either see him get beaten up or see him beat someone up. So
yeah, very true. Cool. And then apart from that, I don't really know. I mean, Rey Mysterio did the cool slide on the tray in that match.
I enjoyed that match a lot more than I was expecting to enjoy that match.
Yeah, Happy Corbin continues to be great at being Happy Corbin. I really enjoy that character and that gimmick, and I think he's just the perfect mid-card wrestler. What else? What about that Pure Life water advert? What was going on there? Who were those people?
Skipped it.
Did you skip it? Okay. And what about Matt Riddle coming out? He's feuding with Seth Rollins now. I'm into that. I find, obviously, you know, we've gone against Matt Riddle a little bit because of some of the stuff that came out speaking out.
I mean,
I still kind of love the guy. Oh God.
So here's the thing: is that, like, I don't like Matt Riddle, not because of the whole speaking out stuff, because all of that sounds a little bit kind of grey area and ambiguous around what he did. Like, I don't think that's ever been quite the same level as, like, a lot of the stuff that did come from speaking out. I don't like Matt Riddle because in main roster they've made him look like an absolute fool.
I think he might be getting some of that credibility back now, but I enjoyed all the RK Bro stuff, and I think that got over far more than it was expected.
Him and Randy together, I just want to watch them.
They were
all day.
They were a funny tag team.
Never meant to last as long as it did.
It doesn't gel for me. But him
versus Seth, I'm up for that. I'm up for those matches.
I mean, I reckon that's going to be a banger of a match.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing coming out to the ring, calling out Seth just to get his ass kicked. Like, silly move.
Yeah. Seth's outfit was crazy as well.
Also, I hated Becky's ring gear in this.
Oh, I loved it. I love all
Oh, no, loving them.
I just didn't like the weird boot things. Ugh.
I'm a fan. Okay, and then I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we haven't mentioned, and I think we probably have mentioned everything. Yes, we have. Every single match done. So, how are we feeling? Did this get you guys... Are you excited about WWE again? It's coming at a terrible time because obviously now we're not as into wrestling in general with the pod and everything like that, but this has made me feel a bit optimistic.
I would say cautiously optimistic. Like, I don't feel...
sensible. Come on, do a John.
I know, no.
John's selling his house and moving out to America to be so he can go to Raw every week.
He's renting a room in a Cashel Castle.
I'm going to the Performance Centre, guys. I'm going to try out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this was a good SummerSlam. Like, this was a very good SummerSlam, especially in comparison to a lot of the dross they've done in recent years.
Are we giving it a grade?
Yeah, let's go through to pay-per-view scorings. Let's do this. What are you going to give it, Adam?
It kind of feels unfair because I sort of skipped through quite a lot of the matches in the middle, but fuck it. That's maybe how we're going to go. So I'm going to give this pay-per-view as a whole a 7.5.
Oh, there's a lot of talk online about how great this pay-per-view was. I thought it was okay. I think it's also 7.5. I think it had a good start and finish, but the middle was just very much okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be the easiest average rating ever because I had 7.5 down as my number as well.
Wonderful.
So
in sync, guys.
We are.
We've done it. We've completed wrestling.
Sam's Joe for Tone. Can you have a look at the spreadsheet and tell us how that compares to previous years?
Yes.
While Sam's doing that, should I do how to get in touch? We could mess things up a bit.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Wow. Okay, so if you want to get in touch, you can email us hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. You can get us on social media at hardestpartpod. Or if you'd like to give us a virtual coffee, all donations are greatly appreciated. You can get us at ko-fi.com/HPOTR.
Yes.
That's the first time I've done that co-hyphen bit right.
Well done, John. Everybody, donate some money
SummerSlam.
just because John got it right. He's a good boy. He deserves it. 100% of the money made this week will go to John.
Ooh, boys.
Sorry,
I am
Sam,
moving out to America.
Sam hasn't committed to that. But okay.
SummerSlam 2022 is our highest rated SummerSlam since records began.
Wow.
Last year, 3.5 out of 10.
Fuck.
Not good.
3.5.
Year
Fucking hell.
3.5, awful. The year before that, 6 out of 10. Now, specifically, I want to take you back to SummerSlam 2019, which got a 6.125 out of 10, because Brett gave SummerSlam 2019 6 out of 10. Adam gave it 7.5 out of 10. But then I gave it 2.5 out of 10. And John gave it 8.5 out of 10 because there was such a vitriolic reaction to my poor scoring.
Yeah, I hated that. Hated it. But an iconic hardest part of the ring moment, that's for sure.
I thought the same thing happened on a fast lane, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, there was another one as well where you gave it like a 9 or something stupid.
You gave it like a 2 or something stupid.
Well. But anyway, yeah, very good SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
It was enjoyable.
Well, I hope, listeners, you enjoyed it too, and that you kind of remembered some of the matches that happened as we talked about it a couple of weeks after the event. But, yeah, this is us. This is us
I've actually
now.
quite enjoyed doing it late because it's had time for my brain to sort of ruminate and distill stuff.
Yeah,
Do you know what the most interesting thing about this SummerSlam is?
tell us.
7.5 out of 10. Do you know what each score's also got 7.5 out of 10?
No.
Double or nothing.
Interesting.
Ooh.
So wrestling's pretty good at the minute. So that's what we're saying, guys. If
Maybe.
you want to hear more chat about pretty good wrestling, then you can catch us on... Will it be the next episode? It will definitely be one of the next few episodes, which will be us talking about Clash at the Castle, which is happening on the 3rd of September, we believe. So we'll try and get on that fairly soon after. We might fit in an episode before then, because that's like a month away. But yeah, I guess the best thing to do is do what John said and follow us on Twitter at Hardest Part Pod, and we'll put out updates when we're going to be doing episodes. There will be future undertakings, there will be future top fives, but we just can't really commit to doing it every other week. So yeah, watch this space. Thank you for your support as always. Thanks for the people who've got in touch after we cancelled last week, just to check everything was okay. Everything is okay. Thanks for everybody who continues to listen. We're still getting good numbers, and we love you all for it. And we'll be back very soon. AKA, not very soon. Until then, it's goodbye from me,
goodbye.
Adam. It's goodbye from Sam.
Yeah, see you later.
And it's goodbye from John.
See you later.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
On the